Everybody's doing good today. I'm going to do a review of my dirt bike. I wanted to do it outside, but the weather is just terrible. We're finally getting some winter here in the Northwest. Snow, ice, crap. It's raining now. I really don't want it any wait any longer. But anyway, this is my 2025 KTM 300XC. I've had the bike, I'm calling this the 1 year review. It's a little bit short, 1 year, but I don't think nobody's going to complain too much. So, this bike I bought in Oregon, down in Gresham, Oregon. I believe it was $9,500 out the door. What at the time was a really good deal. Now, I've seen there's been a couple places actually sell them cheaper since I bought this, which always happens, never fails. I think the lowest price I seen was like $89.95. So I guess it is what it is. Before this, I had a 2020 KTM 300XC. Put a bunch of hours on that. Great bike. Still the best bike I've ever owned. I sold that to a friend of mine and he loves it. Been a really good bike. So, this bike, so far, has been really good. Very similar to the 2020. I think the biggest improvements are the suspension. Of course, this has got spring forks compared to the air forks. They seem to work really well. The chassis is a little bit more forgiving. And besides that, though, I mean, you get them, and I've rode my old one since I sold it. They seem very similar. Being the TBI, I think this has got a little bit more horsepower. Maybe usable horsepower. It's not a huge difference. Everybody was saying when the TBIs, oh my gosh, these are incredible, so much better than TBIs. I don't really think they are. There's a slight difference. So anyway, some of the mods I've done to this bike. I've got a seat concept seat. I believe these are second to none. This is the tall version. I'm about 6'2", so it kind of helps the ergonomics, especially standing. Not cheap. I believe this was a smidgen over $400 delivered, but well worth it. Heavy rear shock spring. I believe this is a 5'1" or a 5'2", 5'2". With my weight, gear on, probably 230, 235, depending what day you catch me on. So that really helped a lot. Currently, I have not put any heavier springs in the front. I'm doing mainly trail riding. These really didn't seem too bad, but I've noticed the times I've had it in a motocross track, yes, you can bottom it. I've got 2 teeth larger sprocket in the rear. This is an Ironman sprocket. It really seemed to help that transition between 3rd and 4th gear. The trails are tight trails. Seldom do I ever really use 4th gear much, but it does enable me to get into 3rd a little bit more. Carpok foot pegs. These are 10 millimeters down and 15 millimeters back. Again, this really helps the ergonomics. Yeah, I have my shift lever off right now and my brake pedal. I'm just doing some modifications to them. Let's see, besides that, I do got a slight riser on the handlebar. I guess you can kind of see it in there. I think that's about it. Everything else, of course, I've changed the tires. Currently got some Tusk Recon tires on there and the front. They're pretty good. I noticed we're hitting a lot of roots yesterday, and there's a couple places there that are a little bit slick. But I can imagine any tire in that situation would be a little bit slick. So my likes about the bike definitely is the power delivery. The bike is clean. My TBI bike was really clean, but this TBI, it's just amazing how fast it cleans out and how well it runs. That being said, I have fouled one spark plug, but I think I let it idle too long. So I think you can contribute that a little bit to operator. Oh, one more modification I forgot to mention is the muffler. This is the Pro Circuit Type 296. These don't come with spark arresters. KTM's haven't in a long time. So this was really nice. No louder than stock. Didn't hurt the power. In fact, maybe helped the power a little bit too. Going back to the likes, This is a lot like my 2020, so the overall ergonomics, the feel of the bike, you can move around a lot. Then again, being a KTM 300, it's light, flickable. Really like the feel of that. Any dislikes on the bike? Yeah, the start-stop switch can kind of be a pain sometimes. A little hard to press. Believe it or not, though, you do get used to it. It's just one of those things. Radiator cap, this is one of the first things in '93 they mentioned on the bikes. But it's really not bad. Once you open it a couple times, you get used to it. It's really not bad. You know, besides that, there's really no dislikes on the bike. It does everything it's supposed to. It starts right up most of the time. Yep, definitely had the thing in gear. That's okay. Don't want to let it run too long in the basement. The wife kind of has a cow. Most of my riding consists of trails, I would say the last 6 months. This has been on a motocross track, and it has been in the desert one time. Seemed to perform really good in those places. Didn't have any problems at all. Seems to really suit in the tight trails. A lot of times I can chug it, I can leave it in third gear most everywhere. Seems to get the job done really well in that respect. You know, I mean, I think these are well-made bikes. I know there's been a lot of people, especially since KTM has a company in India overseeing them, quality might go down. And I don't know about the new ones, but this 25, so far for me, has been just flawless. I mean, the rims, the brakes, of course, Brembo. I mean, how can you really fault that? Bike's so easy to ride, almost impossible to kill, unless you just reef down on the rear brake pedal. Amazing. Oh, here's my anybody else, which really makes it nice. Well, there you have it. I can't really think of much more to say. Like I said, the bike's been flawless, except for fouling one spark plug. Oh, by the way, I mix my oil. I use the 2T and mix 60-to-1 that KTM recommends. Haven't had a bit of problem with that. I did go to a hotter plug, which is recommended by people that have had these. And since I went to the 7 instead of the 8 that was in its stock, I really haven't had any issues whatsoever. But I'd highly recommend one. Even if you've been nothing but a 4-stroke rider, these are incredible bikes, incredible power plants. They do everything you ask of it. They're reliable. They're fun to ride, being a 2-stroke. You know, what more can you say? But anyway, wish it was better weather. Could have been outside, but that's life in the Pacific Northwest. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks.